Good morning. So we're going to continue working on section 2.5, which is about how can we graph our expense and revenue functions. So we're going to work on revenue functions right now. So we have revenue and is equal to the price. Okay, so remember this P is price times the quantity. Okay, so that P is price times the quantity. Okay, so we're going to have, so our revenue, so we're using our demand function that we used before. So we have our price is equal to our demand function. So we had negative 500 P times the price plus 30,000. And that was for Picasso paints. So we're going to have, so now we have this, so now we're going to have to do distributive property again. Okay, so we're going to P times negative 500p, and I want to remind you, remember that the price times the price, or p times p, is equal to p squared. Okay, everybody, just like when we do that with x, okay, x times x is x squared. So we're going to get our revenue is going to be equal to negative 500 times the price squared plus 30,000. Make sure you count those zeros times the price. Okay, so remember, so this was going to be, it's squared, so it's going to be a quadratic function, everybody. So just remember, it is going to be a parabola. It's negative, or a value is negative, so it is going to be upside down. So it's going to be y is equal to a x squared plus b x plus c. We don't have a c value, a constant value here. Okay, so this part right up here, remember, is our vertex, and that's our maximum revenue, maximum amount of money that the business is bringing in. Okay, so we're going to use this formula, so it's negative b over 2a, and our y value. Okay, and then we're just going to substitute in our numbers that we have. Okay, so y, everybody remember, is revenue is our y, our value. Okay, so let me write that. Revenue is equal to y. The price is our x value. So I just want to remind you all of that. Okay, so now we're going to substitute those in. So we're going to get our numbers that we need. Okay, so negative 500 is our a value, and our b value is the 30,000. Okay, and I put a k because it's 1,000. Kilometers is 1,000 meters. Okay, so now we're going to figure out the maximum price. So that's for our x value, everybody. So remember, x is equal to the price. So we're going to do negative. Notice it does have a negative here, so I have to bring that down. So negative 30,000 divided by, remember everybody, a fraction's another way to write division, times negative 500. Okay, and when we multiply those all together, everybody, we get $30. Okay, now to find, we need to solve for the maximum revenue. Okay, so we got maximum price, now we need maximum revenue. So the revenue is going to be equal to negative 500 times, okay, we're going to substitute in that 30 squared plus our 30,000. So everybody, when you're entering these in, make sure that you count the zeros, so it's 3 and 4 zeros times 30, okay? So we get our maximum revenue is 450,000. Okay, so everybody, that's our maximum revenue. Okay, so now we can use that to graph this. Okay. So we're going to use it to graph it. So I just wanted to show you also, so for our vertex is at $30 and then at 450,000. Okay, so everybody, so remember that this is our vertex. And we're going to use that to graph it. So I'm going to go down 5 lines and then over. Okay, so this is our y-axis is our the money, and then x-axis is the price. Okay. So when we set it equal to 30, okay, so it's going to start, revenue, remember, is the amount of the money that the company is taking in, so it's going to start out at 0. 30 times 2, everybody, is 60, okay, because this is giving us, it's called, as we called, our axis of symmetry. So we're 450,000. Okay, so that's going to be right there. And it's going to be a nice, look like this. Okay, I'm going to redo the graph, but that's okay. And that is our vertex. Everybody is right there. Okay. So there we got it. Okay, so what if we need to write the expense function in terms of the price? Okay, so let's do another example. So say we're looking at earbuds. Are $10 each. Okay. Well, $10 is the cost to produce. So that's the cost to produce one. And then our fixed cost is 20,000. Okay. And we have our demand function. So we're going to write our expense function in terms of P. And this is what we went over in part 1. Okay. So this, everybody, in terms of the price. The price. Okay, so our demand function for this, everybody, is going to be demand is so is the quantity is equal to negative, or Q is equal to negative 200 times the price plus 40,000. Okay. So first we need to do it, we need to write it in terms of Q. Okay, so everybody, we're going to write it in of the quantity. So Q, everybody, remember, is quantity. Okay, so I'm going to write it. So I'm going to go E is equal to 10 times the quantity plus our fixed cost, okay, of 20,000. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to substitute in. Okay. So remember, I'm going to take and I'm going to substitute in our demand function and take and substitute this all in for Q. Okay, so I'm going to substitute that in for Q. So I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to do 10 times all that times negative 200p plus 40,000 plus the 20,000. And then we're going to go ahead and take and do our distributive property again. So 10 times negative 200p and times 40,000. I'm going to put it all together. So it's going to be negative 2,000p, 10 times 40,000. So we get 400,000 plus the 20,000. So we just bring that together. Okay. And then everybody, what we're going to do is we're going to add, we're going to combine like terms. So we're going to add the 400,000 plus the 20,000. So 2,000p times the price plus 420,000. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and graph. So the next step of this, everybody, is to graph it. When in doubt, graph it out. Algebra 2, I had an Algebra 2 student say that. Okay, so we're still working on this. I put 4, but I should, September 4th, I should put the 3rd. Okay. Okay, so we're going to graph the expense function. Okay, remember it's linear. Okay, so we're going to have number y is equal to mx plus b. So we have expense is equal to negative 2,000p plus 420,000. Okay, so remember that this, okay, is our y-intercept. Okay, so this is our y maximum and y-intercept. One comma right there. Okay, so we're going to substitute in 0 for e. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it down here, everybody. Going to subtract 420,000 from each side. Okay, so that's what we do on one side, we got to do the other side. So negative 420,000 is equal to negative 2,000 times the price. And this is going to be 0. So now we go ahead and divide it. And divide each side by 2,000. Okay, and we're going to get the price is equal to 210. Okay, so now we can sketch our graph again. So 420,000 is our y-intercept, okay? And then 210 is our x-intercept, and our x maximum. Okay. So now we can sketch our graph. Okay, you got this, everybody.